Welcome to Doing Life Deliberately. My name is Trisha, and today we're going to talk about how family values can guide our choices for homeschool curriculum. We have a whole series of homeschool how-to videos, and this series is all about questions on curriculum. So if you're struggling to figure out what kind of curriculum should I use, or you're wanting to change curriculums but you kind of need some guidance, stay tuned because the following videos are going to be all about the curriculums that we use and what we would recommend, the pros and cons, and different ways that you can go about choosing curriculum that's best for your family. The first thing you may want to consider before purchasing homeschool curriculum is, does this particular curriculum support my worldview and faith? Let me give you an example of how this plays out in our home. Our family are Christians, and so we believe what the Bible says about creation, that the world was created in 6 days and that God rested on the seventh. So it's important to us to find a curriculum that will also teach and support that particular worldview. Number 2, ask yourself, does this homeschool curriculum teach my child to think critically about the world around them? Let me give you another example of how this plays out. In example number 1, I talked about how we look for curriculum that supports our view of creationism. However, we don't want to just teach our kids to believe that because that's what we tell them that they should believe. We want them to think critically about how the world was made. We want the curriculum that we choose to not only support that worldview, but to give evidence behind it. And we want them to learn about things such as evolution. We want our children to understand that there is scientific evidence that supports creationism and not just evolution, and that there are evidences out there for why evolution can't be possible. So we want our curriculum, whatever we purchase, whether it's science or math or logic or history, to help our kids think critically about the world around them. Number 3, will the homeschool curriculum that you are considering encourage your children to have a new perspective on the world around them, whether it be culture or history or society? Will it encourage them to broaden their worldview? Our kids have such a narrow perspective on the world, and how can they have anything different? It's our job as their teachers and as their parents to help broaden up that perspective and help them understand that they are such a small part of the world around them. And so the curriculum that you use can help give them a broader picture of what's going on around them, whether it's exposing them to different cultures, whether it is exposing them to history, whether it's exposing them to multiple views on history. It's important to expand your children's perspective on what is taking place in the world around them, and the curriculum that you choose can help you do that. Number 4, consider whether or not the curriculum that you are looking at will cause your kids to have a romanticized view of history, or whether or not it will give a skewed view of history, or will it give a balanced view of history and culture and the world around them. For example, if we look at American history, it's very easy to find a curriculum that will paint our founding fathers as these wonderful men who sacrificed so much and paved the perfect way to a utopian society. Okay, so I might be exaggerating a little bit, but it's very easy to find curriculums out there that just kind of glorify our founding fathers. And while they were great men, they also had flaws and faults. And so you want to find history books that will give a balanced view of those things. What did they do well? What did they not do well? What did they maybe neglect? What were the hard choices that they had to make to maybe sacrifice one thing for another? So find history books and other curriculum that will give a balanced view of the world around them. Again, that will help your children to learn how to think critically, and will also help them understand that no one's perfect, that we all have flaws, we all make mistakes, and and that's okay. Number 5, consider whether or not this particular curriculum will adequately challenge your child. Will your children really be forced to rise to the occasion, or will it just be getting by, getting the work done? You want your kids to, again, learn to be critical thinkers, engage. You want them to enjoy what they're learning, but it shouldn't be too easy. So find a curriculum that will challenge them, not frustrate them, but that will challenge them and help them to grow. Number 6, ask yourself, will this curriculum bore my child to tears, or will it be fun? Can it be fun? Can we make it fun? If you are just going to sit and read a book and it's a subject that your child has no interest in whatsoever, then don't buy that curriculum. There's so many options to choose from. Certainly you can find something that has fun activities to do. If you've got young ones, maybe coloring pages. If they don't like to color, it's got crafts, or maybe nature walks, or scavenger hunts, or museum. Maybe it'll give some museum suggestions or field trip suggestions. Maybe it will give guidance on how to meet with other homeschool families and study these things together, which when you get together with friends, certainly everything's more fun, right? So find a curriculum that will not bore your kids to tears, but that will help make learning fun. Number 7, another great question to consider is, will this curriculum adapt to my child's learning style? Whether your child is an audio learner, a visual learner, or a kinesthetic learner, you want to have a curriculum that will really meet them where they're at. Are there audio books available to it? Is it something that you will be able to sit and read out loud to them, or do you not have time for that? Are there activities that they can do with their hands if they're a kinesthetic learner? Are they going to be able to read it and engage with it visually if they're a visual learner? So ask these types of questions. Will this curriculum fit your child's learning style? Number 8, consider whether or not the curriculum you're looking at has pre-made lesson plans, or whether it's something that you'll have to plan out on your own. As a mom of 4, I completely appreciate having curriculums that have things pre-planned for me. So whether I just take their plan and I plug it into the kids' assignment books, or whether it's just laid out very easily for them, I so value already having that work done for me so that I can focus on other things. So you may want to ask yourself, especially if you're a mom or dad of multiple kids, does this curriculum come with pre-made lesson plans? Number 9, is this print edition the most recent edition of this curriculum? Where this comes into play is whether or not you have consumables or answer keys. If you can only get your hands on the most recent answer keys, but you have a textbook that is 2 editions old, it may be very frustrating to you to find that your consumables are not the right page numbers, or that you don't have the right answers because things have been adjusted. So just ask yourself, is this the most current print edition? And if it's not, do I have all the other pieces that I need in order to make it work? And number 10, can I afford this curriculum? Curriculum can add up fast. So you may want to just really evaluate, what are all the pieces that you have? What are all the subjects that you have? Can you really afford what's in front of you? Whether it's one curriculum that encompasses all the subjects, or whether you have pieced things together and you're doing different curriculums for each subject. Really ask yourself, can I afford this? And is there a cheaper way to obtain this if it's really a stretch for our family? Well, there you have it. I hope that today's video was helpful to you when you are evaluating curriculum and really thinking about your family values. Please share us with your friends on Facebook and Instagram. We would so appreciate your help in getting the word out about Doing Life Deliberately. If you have not subscribed to Doing Life Deliberately already, just hit that little button. You can even hit that little bell and it will alert you every time we put out a new video. And also, please, if you have suggestions on how to choose curriculum, something that I didn't think of, please put it in the comments below, because you can be a great blessing to others who are following along on Doing Life Deliberately, and we would all appreciate your input. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for joining us.